Let's first talk about agricultural land as an investment asset class. There is tremendous demand for farmland among many investors, with many declaring themselves as farmers. They later convert their farmland to a non-agricultural plot for commercial gains. But is it really a smart investment option? Ashish Bhatia with the answer.
Not just developers and private equity funds, even the common man has always cherished the dream of buying and owning land. And with prices of a constructed home in good livable areas of Mumbai moving to 75 lakhs plus, land prices at 45 rupees per square foot and 7 to 8 lakhs for an acre seem mouth-watering. Almost unbelievable. Obvious question then, why buy into a flat if you can very well own the land?
See, primarily as an asset class, when property prices appreciate of a finished product, what is that basically driven by? The land price is actually appreciating. So investors have become smarter in understanding that the land price goes up first, and as a maximum part of the appreciation curve.
If you do a chart and see the price movement of land over the last 5 years and look at the appreciation on a finished product over the last 5 years, land has become twice the increase as what the finished product has become. So clearly as an asset class, land is making more money today and landowners are making more.
Land prices today around Mumbai region seem quite compelling. As per research firm Proprty, in Karjat deals are going for 820 rupees per square foot. In Shahpur, the going price is 400 rupees per square foot, and in Murbad at 450 rupees per square foot. It's not easy to buy agricultural land. There are legalities involved to convert it for urban use. Experts say there is a catch to it and deals are questionable.
There's 2 points, of course. One is that if you're an agriculturist from another state, whenever you register your property, they'll send a notification to wherever you are registered as an agriculturalist, asking them for verification of the fact that you are. So you'll go to three different levels of the revenue department. So provided they reply back saying that everything's basically kosher, you're absolutely fine. The concern is that the person who's promising to get you an agricultural certificate, whether or not he's willing to basically stay the path with you if things go wrong in the future. The government can basically take it away from you, right? I mean, or the agreement can be cancelled.
This is something Nitin Deshpande learned the hard way when he went out to invest in land.
When first land I purchased, I understand that I have done a lot of mistake in purchasing that land. I was not aware of any law and nobody has guided me properly. So I hired one lawyer under the impression that he knows everything. He has completed my transaction and later I came to know that he knows very little about ground reality. Laws are not wrong. Only thing is the proper implementation is not there.
Till the advisory reaches people, agricultural plots continue to get newer ownership titles. And for those who don't want to get their hands dirty, non-agricultural or NA plots being constructed rampantly seem to be the other preferred asset class, clear title to which cannot be taken for granted too.
As long as they do the due diligence and they're comfortable with that, and there's clear and marketable title on land from like a reputable law firm, I don't see any harm in looking at this asset class.
If it's an agricultural land, he should be very clear what is the cost of conversion of agricultural land into a non-agricultural land, what does it cost, and whether he will be able to do it at all, right? The second is the location. So you can't buy an agricultural land in a forest and say that my land will appreciate. So obviously you need to have a view on the location. How is it connected? How well is it likely to be connected? What are the likely infrastructure that are going to come up there? Buying land is not wrong. That's our raw material. We do that every day. End users coming into that is also good. They will understand the plight of developers.
The Act clearly states that only a farmer can invest in an agricultural land. But many these days are donning the hat of a farmer and driving down beyond city limits in times of soaring property prices and investing in agricultural lands. Experts say that this might be doing more harm than good and could be one of the main reasons of fast depleting agricultural lands. With camera person Rakesh Solanki, Ashish Bhatia for NDTV.
Okay, we have experts joining us on the show to discuss whether farmland can be considered as a good investment tool. Land consultant Nitin Deshpande joins us from Mumbai. Also joining in Paresh Karya, Director, Easy to Own Estate. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me today. Mr. Karya, let me begin with you. In many cities, be it Delhi or Mumbai, agricultural land along the peripheries is being opening up through their master plans, various plans. So this essentially has emerged as a new investment tool for investors. But how does agricultural land actually stack up when compared to apartments when it comes to investment returns?
Let me begin with saying that, the best investment on earth is earth. Now, having said that, there are a lot of caveats attached to it, especially when it comes to investing in agricultural land. Investing in agricultural land is akin to a venture capital investment. It has a high risk, high return proposition. Your returns are high, but then there are a lot of uncertainties associated with this kind of an investment. So, no doubt one can gain by investing in it, but one needs to take a lot of precaution, and it is advisable mostly for super HNIs or institutional investors who have the resources and the wherewithal to do the thorough due diligence and then also have a risk appetite to invest in this kind of opportunities.
Okay, so you need a big risk appetite to invest in agricultural land. Mr. Deshpande, yes, buying land is a complex process. You need to actually get your hands dirty, go visit those places on ground, figure out all the documentation, ensure that it has a clear title. How does it work for the common buyer? Or would you say that only big ticket investors or a consortium of investors should only enter because it's a complex process?
No, though the process is complex, even small man can buy land. But for that he requires good advisor and all advocate and all those things. If he knows that he has to take help of somebody, then in that case he can buy agricultural land.
But Mr. Deshpande, still the risks involved are huge. Is legal help we know that is mandatory when it comes to investing in a risky asset like land, given that you could go wrong in terms of the documentation, but still for a common man it's quite a big risk. So what would be your ideal investment strategy? What would be your tips that low budget investors should keep in mind?
Low budget investor, they cannot do low budget investor cannot purchase on their own land on their own knowledge. So to minimize the risk, what they have to do is they have to search their land on their own, and then they should go to the lawyer and then to the consultant also. So both will verify the papers, and then after they will give advice. See, there is difference between the lawyer and consultant. Lawyer gives advice on the base of the land records available with the government, but the consultant has to see the ground reality. So consultant will see the ground reality, advocate will see what are the laws and all those things, joining both things, and then our small investor also can buy agricultural land. But here I wanted to say something. See, if you go start from the basic, land provides us food. So land is, as per our culture, it is our mother. And so we are not investing in our mother, or we are not selling our mother as per our culture concern. And India, there are lot of people, very few people were having lot of land. That time government had decided to redistribute land along the small people. So what happened finally, land gone in the hands of the small people. Government realized that if they have to retain all those things, then in that case they should have some law which can prevent the transfer of the land. So basic thing they have done, that they have barred transfer of land to a non-agriculturist. Okay. And with that they have taken some little bit care.
Okay. Mr. Karya, coming to you now, do you have an ideal investment horizon in mind? What should be the minimum lock-in period to be able to get max returns out of land?
Well, if you're looking at agricultural land, then I think one should really have a long-term horizon because there are a lot of uncertainties involved. To me, you should have a time horizon at least of 5 to 10 years if you want to make a return out of your land investment. Now, having said that, there are a lot of people who are actually trading in land. These are short-term investors, people who have the know-how. And what is interesting to note that even farmers have turned into land traders now, and they have been making a killing by trading in land rather than engaging in agriculture.
So, land is also a state subject. So, how does an investor navigate that? You're living in one state and maybe that doesn't allow you to buy land because your status is not that of a farmer. Can you declare yourself a farmer in another state? How does that work?
See, every state has a different policy. Like, for example, in the state of Maharashtra, you can acquire an agricultural land if you own agricultural land in any other place in India. Whereas in the state of Gujarat, you can acquire an agricultural land only if you own agricultural land in Gujarat. In states of Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh and a few other states in north, anybody can acquire the land. You need not to be a farmer. So typically, if you want to buy land in Maharashtra, what you can do is you can go and acquire a small piece of land in Andhra Pradesh or Rajasthan, show the proof of ownership of that land and register a land buy agricultural land in Maharashtra and register it over there. So this is the tactic which most of the people have been adopting. Although it is legal, but it is not, follows the law in letter, not in spirit.
Can you identify for us any markets, hot markets in maybe the market that you operate in, any hot locations for agricultural buying, land buying?
As far as Maharashtra is concerned, in Maharashtra we can look at areas in the periphery of, Pune. Pune, in surrounding areas of Pune like Hinjewadi, the place between Mumbai and Pune is growing very fast. Hinjewadi IT Park story is very strong and there is a lot of agricultural land available in the vicinity of Hinjewadi. Similarly, on the western side, places like Palghar, Boisar, Dahanu, they are expanding very much. The urban areas are shifting beyond. So these are the areas where there are a lot of land transactions happening place. Panvel and neighboring areas, another place where there property, land investment is really picking up. People have acquired huge tranches of land and transactions are still happening.
All right. Samir, the Delhi Master Plan is getting notified. He spoke about Mumbai, Delhi Master Plan getting notified next year. So this is going to be the big opportunity for investors, a lot of land opening up in the peripheries.
Absolutely, but a lot of that land has already been purchased in anticipation. People have been aware that the Master Plan will get notified very shortly. And there's a big multiplier. Yeah, there are all sorts of HNIs and big developers who have already aggregated a lot of land over there. I think agricultural land is also purchased a lot more when there is a lot of inside information available to developers and they know that the licensing is going to happen soon, and that's when they actually make these agricultural land opportunities multi-baggers. Okay. Otherwise, if you look at pure agricultural land, it does appreciate a lot, it has less risk, but it is a liquid asset. If there is no licensing happening, you could be sitting on it and may not find a buyer for a long point in time. The other thing that I would like to say, the only thing that one has to be really careful about is while purchasing agricultural land, the title search, and you have to do a lot more than just buying a plot or an apartment in an organized, urbanized area. Right. That's the big difference.
Okay. Also, with some segments of the residential market showing some signs of sluggishness, do you think investors will now flock to obviously buying agricultural land?
Agricultural land is a very volatile asset class. When markets are nervous, then agricultural land also tends to lose its value the most because like I said, it's a very illiquid asset, and if, for example, licensing in that area is going to get delayed for some matter or not going to happen, then there is no appreciation. So investors then don't want to look at that area at all at that point in time. So I wouldn't say it's highly risky. It's just very illiquid at certain times and extremely liquid at certain times, depending on what's happening in that area.
Okay. All right. So it's a high risk, high reward game. Sometimes the returns could be very high, but you need to do your proper due diligence in terms of the clear title and any kind of legal disputes on the land that you have in mind. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me from Bombay.